Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
Boy, oh boy, there's some photos of your head floating around.
The AFL record out now. Go and grab that at your newsagents, Coles Express, Woolworths, etc.
All good bookstores.
Put a sticker over that picture.
That looks good, Cal.
I don't know.
Oh, dear.
Once again,
It looks older than your dad.
yes.
It looks older than Raymond.
Who at AFL House went, yep, that's good.
tick
Let's
that off.
use that one.
Someone having a laugh. It nearly broke the internet. Have you seen
There's some good...
where people have been
Very
putting
good.
that picture?
Go and check out Roy's Twitter feed. You've been retweeting
that's
some very
funny.
good ones.
I love how you two have done nothing but encourage this.
Good. I'm not clever enough to do what people are doing. That is so funny.
You just put it on the tee for them and off they go.
You know what
I
else
did do that.
broke the internet this week?
What?
The draft kit. That dropped. So make sure you get that at afl.com.au/fantasy and the bonus spreadsheet that you can have a little bit of a play with that. So make sure you check that out. But what will probably break the internet is, I'm sure our Twitter feeds will be alight this week because practice matches are on.
Oh.
And we'll be able to actually watch them properly this
What
year
we
via
want.
KO.
How good is that?
Yeah, so they start Wednesday. Get up and about with that because it's Bombers Wednesday afternoon against
Oh, how
the
exciting.
Dogs.
Wow.
Well, midfield rotations for
We
both
do need
those
to
teams
watch that, Cal.
is super important. So things that we'll be watching, I guess, is centre bouncers, who's at these,
Yes.
and what roles will look like for players. I guess that's our almost our prerogative throughout this practice match, and then the Amy Community Series, which will mean more. These ones here, like, because some of these games, like, for example, and this is the stuff that you got to trust your eyes, you've got to watch it and understand it. The Hawthorn and Collingwood game, for example, is going to be a 6-quarter game. So you've got to
not.
Yeah.
Why?
But I think they're going to play the 4 quarters as their main teams
Fantasy.
and then give the kids later on.
Are
That's
they?
in the
Imagine how many
the
points
practice
you could
match.
rack up in
I know.
6.
Pig's going to go off in that thing.
Tom Mitchell's
300.
Yeah, I'll play the 6 quarters, coach.
Far out.
So,
Oh, my God. But
Yeah.
that's important. That's
is.
Caldwell on Wednesday.
It is.
yeah.
What time's that on?
3 o'clock. Good.
Oh, okay.
We've got Wednesday afternoon off, remember? It's
We
Cup
do.
Day here.
It is.
Caldwell Day.
Grab the popcorn.
Caldwell Day.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Sick.
Are you on board?
Yep.
You are. Good. Cal's not, though, are
No,
you?
I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
We both are.
Oh,
Are you on?
Yeah.
Hat trick.
He's a bomber.
Now here's Warnie with breaking news.
All right, now, leading into these pracky matches, these scratch matches that we've got, there's been a fair bit of news come
There's
out.
been a
And a
lot.
lot of that's coming from these intra-club games and the match simulations or trial games, or they've got about 15 different names, I think,
do.
sometimes they call these things. But some big news, some good, some bad.
Some
I'm going to
very
start with
bad.
some very bad, Roy.
Yeah.
At the Blues. Sam Walsh, Syndesmosis.
Bloody sin.
the sin's
sin
back.
already.
The new OP is out first month of footy by the sounds of it, and they said they could even be a bit more cautious than that.
I would be cautious
Too
with
right.
it. So he finished training. He did the sin,
Yep.
and he finished training. That just goes to show what Walsh is like. You see, some people get the sin,
Yeah.
but he carried off the ground. Sam Walsh finishes training.
So not good.
What does that do to draft?
Draft is a
order?
big one.
Yeah, it's because he was probably a first rounder or
He
very
definitely-
close to it.
He
Very
was in the
close.
rolling, 22.
Oh,
When does he go? That's interesting now.
especially even it's the thing. This is a year
A month at least.
Yeah.
in your startup keeper league. This year is a very
Yes,
interesting one.
because he's number one until sin.
He's only missing 4 weeks of possibly
Yeah.
10 years worth
Exactly.
of this league.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
So you still have to back him in as the number one,
yeah. It's
don't
an
you?
interesting one.
In my opinion,
Yeah, agree.
my keeper league team is
You know what?
rooted without him.
I reckon he'll come back, start slow, and then we'll all get on. There you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I reckon.
Right.
We'll all own him by about round.
So let him drop a few dollars.
He doesn't drop dollars.
No, that's true.
He could probably play in his cast.
He probably could.
Still
Now,
ton up.
next for the Cats, Mitch Duncan. Bit of a calf concern for him.
Yeah,
so
always going to be an
Saved,
issue.
Yeah.
saved by
it probably
the
is a
calf.
little bit,
Yep.
isn't it? Like,
Yep.
he was always in the mix for my team there. Priced at 100, could go 120 like he did to open the year last year. Yeah, so
I've seen a lot of people that if they've just got a little bit of money left in the kitty,
Yeah.
it gets thrown on top of someone to get to
A Duncan, yeah.
But, God, a good reminder. A
Yes.
good time for a reminder. Interesting in draft once again, though.
Yeah.
Because what happens?
Yeah.
Do you just go, nah, way too risky. The guy we ranked at, number 2?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
He's probably still there, though.
He probably is.
But it's just that if someone's going to grab him too early,
Yeah.
like he's probably gone some first rounds or early second in draft so far, that's just for getting an old cat man that he is.
Yeah.
You just don't want to spend that pick on him.
And he'll probably miss round one. You're taking him first round, are you?
He's the definition of a laid out.
Yeah.
Always.
How many games will he
100%.
play this year? Even if he's right for round one.
He'll play
16.
Yeah, I'd say 15.
So
Yep.
what happens if those 6 or 7 games are in the back end of the season when you're playing
He
finals?
will win people so many games and he will lose them
I
just
just
as many.
don't want to be in a draft where he is the one that
Yep.
it's just the obvious next pick.
Yep.
Do you do it?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
You do, okay.
At the Eagles, Greg Clark, very popular rookie
Yes.
for us, 190k mid, mature age, that's why we like him. Arm in a sling after Friday's match simulation.
Could always make scoring hard.
Very hard with one arm. 36% of teams have him at the moment.
That's an adjustment that needs to be made. But, God, I mean, everyone's killing it on the track, but Warney, I haven't even heard him say once, there's no rookies. There's no rookies because there's a lot of rookies that are doing very well at the moment.
No, there's going to start losing a couple, I reckon. No, we might have a few. It'll be interesting, and that'll dictate our structures a lot too,
It will.
of where we go about things.
Yeah.
All right, the Roos. Now, Aaron Hall, so the number one defender,
Jeez.
hurt his hammy. Now, people heard him say, I've done my hammy.
That was great sourcing by those
Great
people.
source.
They literally
Twitter-
heard it out of
I
Hawley's
think
mouth.
that came from Maddie on Twitter there.
Yes, well done, Maddie.
Riley Beveridge, our
Right.
man at afl.com.au, said it's tightness.
Yeah, too tight for my liking.
But it's Aaron Hall, who's 39 years old. What is he, 33? He's pretty old. Like, he's well over 30, isn't he?
He's getting on.
He'd be 32 or something, wouldn't
But
he?
it-
Turning 33?
We are getting a reminder here about Mitch Duncan and Aaron Hall.
They go tight, then they go ping.
That's exactly
And
right.
it's also another thing about these fully priced players. You could argue both of them are underpriced in some form.
Yes,
but,
you can.
But there is that age caveat, and then there's also the issue that they have had
Yes.
pretty decent injury history over their careers.
I must admit, all my typing about these two players so far this year has been putting a positive spin on how they're underpriced. I forgot to mention the huge injury risk that they both are.
Now, another one for drafts, because a lot of people are hot on Callum Mills. So at the Swans here, he's no certainty for round one. That Achilles is still an issue. Now, I did see, though, Roy,
Yes.
Isaac Heaney's in your forward line.
Toot toot.
Oh, yes, you on.
Coward, are you on as well?
Oh, I'm on.
Jeez, we should go back and have a listen to some of these podcasts.
Yeah, and I should bloody go back and listen to them, and I should follow the advice of 2 months ago, man, and stay away from that damn
Lock
train.
it in.
He is a bit of a whipping boy for me in my forward line. I
can
like to get
imagine.
him out just for the fun of it. Right? But,
Look, it's fraught with danger.
massively. Massively.
He is going to bring tears, and not of the good variety.
I said last time, he will get your -3 nearly every week.
But he's in.
He's in for now.
Yeah, same.
Now, we're looking at Freo. Positive news here. So
Come
I'm not
on.
going to talk about any negative stuff here for them.
Okay.
Is that we've got O'Driscoll, who's got the defender status
Yes.
as well, is looking pretty good, getting in CBAs, as well as their first-round pick, Erasmus. Was he
Gosh,
first round? I
they
think he
didn't
was
go for
high
the
anyway.
easy names.
No.
Did they?
Anyway, those guys are there. Now, the other one is that we've heard that Liam Henry is on that
Yes.
wing, but then Roy, Serong dominated.
Yes. Yeah.
Where are you sitting with him? Is he locked for you?
He's locked.
Yes, he's in and out for me.
He's
but-
100% locked.
So he's
Is he?
100% locked for me. And then I didn't realise I could reinforce the lock further. Named in the leadership group.
yeah.
Then the key wouldn't even open it. The lock was just fully... Yeah.
Okay, what is he? Priced at 82. What does he
Yeah.
have to go? He has to go over 100 for mine.
Yeah, well, he'll do that.
I
Really?
think he gets into that low 100 mark.
Yep.
102, 103.
At worst.
Yeah.
Could actually sneak it a little bit higher.
Like in his last 3, he went at like 106.
He's not getting any more CBAs than what he did because he was right at the top anyway.
He's going to
Doesn't
be
need
their main man in the guts.
Yeah.
In WA too, speaking of that, the Eagles one as well is that Campbell Chesser looking like he's going to lock down a wing spot.
Yeah.
So he's a defender, could be a D6. You paid a few
Can
extra
I
dollars
just
for him.
float back to this Henry on a wing?
Oh, yeah.
Because he is cheap. It's that price that, you
Yeah.
know, it either makes or breaks us every
in the
year.
300s?
Yes, it is in the 300s. I just don't know if he gets enough of the ball even on the wing.
317.
317.
Like what he does is great and damaging.
I'm with you, Roy.
But does he? How many times a game does he do that? It's just one that...
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Because usually we go, nah, at that price, that roll is enough, and we'll just play it out. But I can see 50s. And then is it enough? Probably not.
Pies, Pendles, Dacos, half-back, midfield switch in a row.
Look, so...
Dacos is an absolute lock. There is zero issue there at all. I don't think you can't try to get all pretty with that one and think that you can't pick him.
So here's the deal, dog. How many we keeping in our keeper league? 16.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got Pendles.
I do. A 34-year-old Pendles as a midfielder who didn't make my initial cut.
Okay, right.
He was out. This has me potentially reshuffling, finishing the year with a Pendles in defence. If I'm in the premiership window, I need that.
Could do it. I like it.
So he's back in my keeping squad now.
I like it.
Right, other things out of the Pies there is Roughhead. His injury, which requires surgery, has probably opened the door for Charlie Dean, a 190k defender, mature age. So he's plenty of talk there. So he could be one of your bench guys. Now, don't expect massive scores, but it is a 190k guy for your bench in defence. Jeremy Howe's injured as well, so that's one to monitor over this time as well. Jordan Dawson hurt his ribs. Now, I really hope we see him in one of these pracky matches.
I think
the Amy game, because I really want to see what they do, because I feel like, because he wasn't at the club until late January, that he is going to be more of that forward mid rather than mid-forward to begin with.
There's just been too much going on. So he missed all that time.
Yep.
Maybe if he had a clear run from there, you could see him playing a bit more mid. But now, not there, now interrupted patch. I just don't think he's going to have the tank to go midfield to start.
Be interesting.
It will.
As much as I like him.
Same. But we can't do that to ourselves if he's not guaranteed to be mid-forward as opposed to the opposite.
Do you guys have him at the moment?
No, he's out since his ribs for
the
me.
goat's in there for me.
Yeah.
At the Lions, let's go to Brisbane. Dayne Zorko. So he's had an ankle injury, which has been keeping out of a bit of pre-season. Probably won't play any pre-season games, he said as well. So he's on SEN the other day, and one of my mates, Damon, he's a producer there, and gave him some questions to ask about that half-back role that we've been hearing about. Sounds like it's more about just his training that's for, not so much the role.
My God, surely not.
So
It's bizarre.
So, Roy, you're someone that does draft, hoping, like you're saying with Pendles there as well, hoping they get that position change or the adjustment or the addition. I just wouldn't have that in my head for that at the moment, based on that info.
No, well, it's not enough.
Interrupted pre-season too.
Yeah, no.
It's a tough thing for an older man.
Yeah, it's not enough, especially because, drafting as a mid, he will potentially go higher too, because of that average.
Yep.
Yeah, no, very interesting, dog.
The other one there is Kadeem Coleman is one that I'm watching a lot.
Yes.
In the 300s, because he's got a half-back roll.
Does he? Virtual style?
Yes.
343.
Definitely worth
not
watching.
another one in that price range.
He's got forward defender status, and we've got a couple of those rookie forward defenders, so the flexibility could be another little tick in his box if you wanted to go there.
Put him on the...
Had
invite
70s,
him to
scored
training.
some 70s, like playing that role.
He can come to training.
He can come to training.
All right, we're moving along now to the Crows. Jordan Dawson sounds like he's going to be on ball wing.
Yes. Do you guys have him at the minute?
No.
I do.
Do you?
Yes.
So what's your D3 then at the moment?
No, higher. I think he's up at D2.
'Cause did you get rid of Lloyd?
Yeah.
Why?
I did, because I just don't think I can justify that much money. I don't know if he is underpriced in a winning Swans. I think he's better in a losing Swans.
All right.
Okay.
Hear how Roy overthinks that over these next 3 weeks then. All right. Milera, wing, halfback, tick. He's doing everything right. So is Matt Crouch now. I think that's one that I feel like we don't overthink. You can pick some holes and you can go, yes, he's got injury history and that groin could go at any time. There are enough guys, I reckon, that you could flick him to in that relatively 80, priced at 80.
You had me at Matt. He was in.
So I don't have him at the moment.
Don't you?
No,
I cannot resist that.
No, I agree. I'll end up probably doing it. But I just think at some point early in the season, they're going to give him rest.
Yep.
He's not going to play all the games leading up to the bye, for example.
He's rested for over a year.
That's true.
But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and he had a lot of setbacks along the way. Like even in the preseason, like there was a point probably 2 months ago where I said I can't pick him because he had another setback.
That's right. It didn't
thing.
look like he was even going to start the season.
So.
I'm not overthinking that at the minute though. I'm going Matt Crouch 600 and something. Welcome.
They're rookies to watch. Rochelle as a forward, so you could consider that. But also is Jake Sicily. He's a 220k mid. He's a chance, apparently, from track watchers there.
Right.
Tigers at their intra-club, no Dusty, but Hugo Routhsmith was one that caught eyes, playing half-back, maybe replacing Hooley, and he's very lowly priced as well, so could be someone that you could half consider, maybe. I'm not sure.
Cal's already got Hooley replacemst.
I've already got...
You've had about 10, haven't you?
Rioli's the Hooley replacement, mate.
Right,
Didn't anyone know that?
Old Hugo is 258k and mid-forward.
So if he's a...
Yes, I would do that.
Yeah.
Well, 250. Hide him in the forward line.
That's where I think, the more I think about it, the forward line is where we could really go super cheap there.
Yeah.
Even to a point where I could ignore Dunkley and Treloar because there's question marks there.
Yeah.
And my F1 could be... Heaney's probably not exactly...
Oh, that's too far.
But
dog.
it could be someone like that in that range of players, though.
Yeah, I hear. So when you say that range of players, are you saying Taran Thomas, Zach Butters, those
Dusty,
kind of...
maybe.
Dusty. What's the deal with Dusty? Do you know what? Sources has told me
Oh.
2 completely contradicting stories about it.
This is not like sources
I know,
either.
he's usually spot on.
What did he say?
One is hell yeah, all go, like
Right.
lean, mean, midfield machine.
Yeah.
And the other one is lean, weak, struggling to put back on, not machine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which one are
Be
you going to
wary.
listen to?
I don't know at the moment. I have to get him to ask someone else.
All right.
That's big though. That's very
That's not good
contradicting.
sourcing, though.
No.
Did I mention Josh Gibbs?
Home brand.
Draft data monitor at 274k, got defender status. He's impressing. Now, Port Adelaide, their midfield looks like it's going to have so many bodies going through it. So they did have their little scratchy, and Butters equal second CBAs with Boak behind Wines. I think that's real. That's happening. Josh on Twitter was counting those out, watching the stream.
Oh, that was good.
That's
Yeah.
good
That's
sourcing.
That's what we hope people can do this week in these
Yeah.
cracky matches. It's going to be
That's
great.
like Johnny's sauce. That's delicious.
Right. Houston, he was talked about as getting midfield time again this week.
No, I'm not taking that far.
But they did rotate a few through there. Jackson Mead, Cow, your mate.
Yeah. Come on,
he was
Mead.
used there.
Come on.
Now, we've got to watch Josh Sin. So
Yes.
he is a draftee that could play. And we know that Ken Hinkley does play the kids.
Yeah.
So that's something that we'll
God,
be
his
watching.
name lit up the socials. Sin bin, yeah.
And finally, the last one
Nuts.
we've got here, St Kilda. Jade Gresham was impressive. Now,
Okay.
the only issue for me is when I was listening to Rats on AFL Daily, pretty much talking about how he's only needing sort of a dozen disposals. He's done
For
his
what?
job. So I think his role, and this is what it's coming from the track watch, that it is going to be that forward mid role. So I think that's
Fraught
the
with
concern.
danger.
Yeah, it's a no.
People keep saying to me, why wouldn't you just chuck Gresham in there? It's because I have no confidence in this move.
No, I agree.
You've talked him up a lot, though.
I have,
Because
and
you
I'm
had the
off.
Saints.
Did I? Yeah, I was desperate for names.
That's what we've got to do sometimes. I think that's where Cal is. as well.
However, now we've progressed a little further through.
Now we've got
I've
that
taken
content
a
out
deep
of the way.
breath. Yeah.
We don't have to find 10 players from each club.
And try to be nice about it. So, yeah, that comment though, dog, that was the nail in the coffin.
So
for me.
509,000, you can put him in the forward line.
Yeah.
10% of people
Tick,
are
tick.
on. It's a no, though.
Yeah,
That's
cross.
a no.
All right, it's Defender Week here on the AFL Fantasy Podcast. And so, boys, we're going to get the number one AFL Fantasy Defender on the line.
Yeah, boys, how's our pulling power?
It's massive. Aaron Hall.
No?
Who?
Harry Edwards.
LBLT.
Welcome to the show, Harry Edwards.
Nah, thanks for having me, boys. Pleasure to be back.
Now, the reason you are the number one defender is because of your heroics last season. Finishing 8th overall in AFL Fantasy Classic. You are a star and have Have you gotten over it yet? Are you still pretty high in the clouds with your form?
Yeah, still pretty high, but it's a new year, and hopefully I can go back-to-back top 10s would be the goal.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Now, do you train in your hat, Harry?
No, because I haven't received it yet.
Sorry, mate, I didn't know that.
Unfortunately not.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear. What about that, though?
That's not-
8th. That is that good. How pumped were you?
Oh, incredibly pumped. I mean, I thought I was making a run to come first, but I was ineligible for the prizes, so pretty happy I didn't have to hand
At
back
what
a car
stage
in
did
the
you
end.
find that out? Because it would have been a nerve-wracking
That,
time.
That I was ineligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out kind of halfway through the final round. So I think Alex Witherden messaged you boys for me to clear that up.
Amazing times, though. So do all the boys at the club, one, know you're into it, and two, know you're very good at it?
Yeah, well, they certainly do now, but I worded them up. I worded them up with a couple rounds to go last year, and they were all riding me pretty hard through to the finish.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Now, you have started tracking your team for this year. Have you logged in and started picking your side?
Yeah, I have. I've got a few favourites from last year back in that did me well. So boys like Jack Chris, I'm going to go with again. Since we're talking about defenders, I'll back him in again. I was going to go Touk Miller, but then
Sorry, no, you go, mate.
No, I was going to say I had to pick one of the million boys, and Touk Miller was the man last year, but I think I can't bypass Steele, so I'll be going with him as well.
Now, have you got any of your teammates in there, mate?
No, well, after the bit of controversy picking myself and Witho last year, I don't have any of my own boys at this stage, but I'm sure they'll be in there at some point.
So is that going to be a strategy for you at this stage, not to pick any of your teammates so you don't feel like you have to kick it to them?
Yeah, well, you could say it like that, but I just honestly don't think any of them are fantasy relevant. I think you would agree.
Make sure you let him know that. What about Witho, though? He's someone that we do like in the back line. How do you think he's going to go this year? It's a bad thing to try to retire someone, but as soon as Hearn's out, I reckon he's going to be racking up.
Yeah, he probably will be. I think it'll be similar output to last year from Witho, but hopefully better for his sake. But I just think there's a lot of other options you can pick around his price that are unfortunately better. Pains me to say, but they probably are. Yeah,
so you've got Crisp there. Now, he doesn't miss a game, so he's a nice safe pick. Who else do you have at the top of the tree? Have you gone with Jake Lloyd or Whitfield?
Yeah, I've gone with both of them. So I've got all three of them as my big dogs in the back line at the moment.
Yeah, what else have you nailed down then, or who are you going with, finding some value?
Yeah, I'm a big advocate in not picking someone if you're paying, close to a premium or around that mid-price range. I don't like picking them if I don't think they're going to be a top six.
Right.
Oh, I don't mind
just because I like it. Just because otherwise, because I found last year, well, I know my mates went through a bit of this. You pick those mid-price guys, and then you're trying to trade out rookies, trying to trade out mid-price, and you just end up having to hold people for too long.
Yep.
And it really screws you over in the end, in my opinion.
So who are they then for you that you're not going to touch that people might be jumping on as mid-prices?
Well, a lot of them, like the back line, I actually think Sicily's all right. Like he'll probably be a top six, in my opinion. He might, push for the bottom end of the top six. So I reckon he's all right. But I haven't gone Milera as of yet.
No.
I want to wait and see what happens in the JLT. But yeah.
Now, have you Oh, sorry, mate.
No, keep going.
All right, have you got him, my mate Gaff, and how's he travelling at the moment?
Well, you said he hasn't picked any.
No. I want to get some sources.
No, I know you've got a vendetta against Gaff. Don't worry about that.
That's not true. I love old Gaffer. Now, how's he going?
No, he's going well, mate. So, hopefully, I had the same problem with him last year. I love Gaffy, but I picked him early and he screwed me over just like he did you.
Yeah.
Did you tell him?
So, it's not really something you talk about when you lose. When you're losing a few games, you don't really go to your teammates and tell them to lift their fantasy game. So no, I
Look, let's not pussyfoot around. We need to know how Gaff's going. What's his tilt like?
Yeah, is his head upright or is it to the side?
How many degrees?
We'll go on the 45.
He's tracking all right then.
He's doing all right.
Yep. Back in the mix.
Get him in.
He's going well.
That's good. That's
Now,
good.
there is a bloke that's got defender status that we're getting a bit excited about. Campbell Chesser. How's he looking at the moment? Do you reckon he's a chance to be suiting up early in the season?
Yeah, he's certainly a chance. I mean, he's been going. We played an intra-club on Friday and he went well in that. So, yeah, if he's in round one, I can't see a reason why not to pick him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, and that was sort of a bit of a wing role for him. Is that what he looks like he might be playing?
Yeah, it looks that way at the moment. Yeah, for sure.
Right. That's a good one.
There we go.
That's a bargain.
Yeah. I think we need to look at that. All right. Now, we are talking defenders, but let's have a look at your other lines. Let's look at your rucks, because this is always interesting for fantasy coaches, because it becomes a bit of a discussion point. Have you got Brodie Grundy?
I do have Brodie Grundy, yeah.
Right. Who's your...
I've gone with that. Yeah, I've gone with Preussy.
Preuss, right. How are you feeling about that at the moment? Nervous?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm not too stressed about it because it worked last year with it. I don't want to pay up for both the big boys.
No.
To start with, because I think you can kind of ride a cheaper ruck through to about 500-600k and then just, get up to the big boys around the middle of the year.
Yeah, no, hopefully that's all right. I'm just worried about if he's playing with one of the other boys there, like if they're both in the side.
Sorry, you just cut out there, mate.
Oh, sorry, I'm just worried if he's got Flynn next to him. That's going to be my worry about starting with Preuss despite his very cheap price tag.
Yeah, well, I'm at a bit of a stage. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. If it ends up like that, I might have to adjust and drop a mid-premium or something like that and get a premium ruck. But we'll wait and see what happens there, I think.
Well, a premium ruck that I'm interested in, you'll actually get a first-hand look at over the next couple of weeks. And I need some sources to give us a squirt on it. But can you have a bit of a peek at Sean Darcy?
Yeah, for sure, mate. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how we go against him, but he'll.
Thank you.
Yeah,
because he's in the mix.
At this stage.
He's in the mix.
Yeah, well, he'd have to be up there, but he'd be top.
He's
top
expensive, yeah, but I just think he can get it done.
Yeah, well, as long he might have someone backing him up. I'm trying to think who his second ruck would be.
That's where I need your eyes, mate. Time. Yeah, you just keep an eye on that for me.
No worries.
Thank you.
Might be Lob, I reckon, just chopping out, but he can play a bit more of a forward. So.
Yeah. Don't worry, Harry's onto it.
Yeah, he's on it.
All right, well, that's all right. Yeah. There's no issues with you picking Freo players being over there because we know what it's like in Perth.
No, there's no issues, but that being said, I don't have any of them either, so you can steer and clear of the WA boys at the moment.
Right. Oh, well, at least you'll be allowed in and out of the state coming up soon, and we're pretty excited about that. So you guys will play a couple of pre-season games. You've got Freo in both of them. So what should we be looking at, do you reckon, as fantasy coaches across these pre-season games? Because as a very good fantasy coach, what do you look at when you're watching these prackies?
I think it's all, you boys will be across it all, but it's all pretty well role based stuff, and how the younger and cheaper boys are going. So I'm sure you all have watch lists of all the rookies and that. But that's the most important thing to get out of it. Like, I wouldn't read into too much of what your premium players are doing because they always play well. But yeah, I'd be looking at the rookies.
That's what the Great Dane Swan used to say, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, the good players don't really care about these games.
He said if you try in those games, you're a loser.
Yeah.
So.
Are you any chance to pick yourself again this year, Harry?
Nah, not as a key defender. We don't score anywhere near enough points for me to be relevant. So I've had my 1 year.
Beauty. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck in these scratch matches. We're looking forward to seeing you suit up in round one because we love the way you go about it. Hopefully, you've got the right footy jumper to wear this year, and also, one last thing is that your team was called Hazard's Hawks last year. Have you changed that for 2022?
Nah, can't be changing it. Did well with it, so got to keep it.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.
It's defender time. Let's have a look at our most popular, most selected that we've got there. Give some ticks and crosses, I guess, about them. Lockie Whitfield, 45%.
Huge tick.
No, I've got zero qualms about it.
No,
really.
I'm not worried at all. Massive season ahead, I reckon.
Agree.
Sicily, 44%. Everything's sounding good.
Yeah.
Obviously got the discount at his 5-10 figure. it's limited risk really because of that, and because he's had probably 18 months.
Yeah, I can't find a valid reason not to pick him.
Yep, agree.
Yeah, that's all we need to say.
100%.
Tick on the sick.
Yeah.
Then we get into a 191k almost basement prices. Will Kelly, defender forward, probably plays, so therefore we have him.
Yep.
Yep.
That's an easy one.
That defender forward swing is it's going to be handy, I think.
Excites me. Thought of it.
Wayne
Rioli's got that.
Milera, as we did just hear from Harry.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not picking him, but I've got him.
I reckon Harry will have him once he watches him in the pre-season.
And so that role too, like if it sounds like he's a wing, and probably half back as well, like it's
too good to ignore.
He's got a 3 in front of his name.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so cheap.
Yep.
And
so
he's
where does he
just
sit?
talented. He's
Where
very
does he
talented.
sit for you then? At 4 or 5? D4 or D5?
That's a good question.
I think he's at 5 for me.
He's at 5 for me.
Yeah.
Then playing on Jake Lloyd. Well, he's my D1. You've
gone cold, Roy.
So you've got him, Cow.
Yeah.
But Roy,
What?
So why did you do it?
To be honest, I probably had a few beers and it was late at night and I needed the cash to get someone who was training the house down.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. So, but do you
No, I
just
do
not
have some
think-
justification, yes.
Okay.
I just have that feeling of Swans. They turned themselves around last year and started really winning, top 8 stuff.
Yep.
And I think he scores better when they were holding the ball up.
Yep.
And now they're attack mode. I think he's just a 100 guy, and that's what you're paying for him.
Okay. So he's a top 3.
100% he's top 3. Yeah. So he's not an awful pick. It's just, excuse me a minute. Boring.
Will Gould or Will Gold, depending on which way you want to say it. Basement price guy that just gets a run every pre-season.
Doesn't he just?
Yes.
I don't think we can. I don't think he's playing. Like that's as simple as it
Again?
is. Yeah. So he's not there. But the 190k guy that we will want, I reckon, is Nathan O'Driscoll. So
Drisky.
The
defender, midfielder, all great words coming out of Freo, as we mentioned before. But yeah, 190. The thing is, he could be good enough to be on field.
I know.
Ooh.
Dare you say it?
So,
I think you're right.
Now, it's a little bit further down the list, but Campbell Chesser in 8% of teams. If both of those guys are playing, could they be your 5 and 6 on field?
Now you're
Because Chesser you're paying a bit more for.
Yep.
That is 2 guys who have basically been told, the reports we're hearing that they're wing time. Available in defence, rookie price.
The way Harry spoke, I reckon he's playing.
It sounded like it.
Yeah, you got to read between Harry's lines.
100%.
Yeah, he plays.
So
you could nearly do that.
It's totally out of my comfort zone. I remember a few years ago, our big thing was starting heavy in the cheap defenders. And oh my God, did our season derail at the rate of knots.
I know.
We chased our tail for 20 weeks based on that weak back line.
Yep.
Never recovered.
No.
So I still have sick feelings about that. That's my only fear.
So that would then, if you were to do that, it would probably put your Sicily at 3.
Oh, see, this makes me feel very off. Now, could we not just start with one of them D6 and then D7, and then if things are going really swimmingly...
Well, you've got DPP with both of them as well. They do have the mids.
That is true.
Nah, one only on field.
In defence.
Yes.
Sam Skinner's a 190k defender forward, the ex-Lion, and reports there. I read one of the little things that came from a presser that pretty much said, have you seen him train? He's just dominating.
What?
So... it just has to be in the mix.
Rookies everywhere.
23k.
No wonder Dog's so up and about.
Jack Crisp in 20% of teams. Now, I don't hate the pick, but I just don't see a heap of upside because he's actually priced at over 100.
I don't hate the pick. I hate the player.
You're still not happy.
I'm not, but I'll tell you what, he is a great pick.
Yep.
And credit where credit's due. He's going to be way up on the rolling 22 because...
He plays every game.
He plays every game, and he was playing through the midfield in their game the other day.
Yeah.
Like...
The thing is, he doesn't need it either, though, does he?
He doesn't, but I just
whatever
feel
role
like,
he plays.
why wouldn't he be there more permanently than he has in the past if, Pendles is moving out?
Good call.
I just think he's ready to go really big.
Okay.
All right, playing on. Aaron Hall, 17%. I just think we can't do it now.
You can't do it.
Not doing it now.
Not with a little niggle. I was never doing it.
So he was my number
of my
one
time.
defender in draft.
Yes.
And I don't know if he is anymore.
I think in one of our drafts a couple of months ago, weeks ago actually, didn't I? I picked him first round. I probably picked 7.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Silly.
He can't be
Very
there
silly.
anymore. I think your Lloyd and your Whitfield would nearly go ahead of him.
100% they go ahead of him.
Crisp does as well.
Well ahead of him.
Because he's going to play every game.
Yes.
Sam DeConning, we'll be watching him at the Cats as another defender forward.
Did you see his photo the other day?
Big
pipe.
Big. I hope his brother's been doing that.
Yeah, well, he'll be the number 1 ruck, won't he? He's going to
He
get rid
hasn't
of
got much
Pitt,
competition. Let's be honest.
Joel Hamling's cheap, but you're going to get more from him than what he's priced at. However, it's not going to be huge. 196k he is, but what's he go at? 45 to 50.
It's a waste of 6K.
Desperate times.
Yeah.
Could call that.
$6,000, $6,000.
You need that.
You can buy a bit with that second-hand boat. Yeah.
Jordan Dawson, 13%. I'm okay with it. He's not in my current side, though.
No, you're on though.
I'm very okay with it.
Yeah.
And I am part of that
But he's
13%.
your 2, isn't he?
I
Your
believe so,
D2,
Dog.
Because you got rid of...
Yes, I got rid of Lloyd, all right. How many times? I'm getting him back in.
Josh Sin, a defender midfielder. See, we could have a few of these guys.
Yeah.
O'Driscoll, Sin.
Look at him.
The Moses.
Look at him over there.
Garrett McDonough, I'm not sure he's going to play for the Bombers. He's in 11%. Caleb Marchbank.
On the coaching staff.
Where
now,
are
is
you,
he?
Roy, with Caleb Marchbank? Because you were,
Oh, yeah.
when you were reaching for Carlton players to talk up this pre-season, he's at 294k.
I couldn't reach him.
Just a negatory.
No. So I don't think he's had a smooth pre-season. And all these young rookies coming through.
Oh.
We don't worry about it.
So many rookies.
And wing. Talk of wing. Defenders on the wing.
Tom Stewart's
Shit.
in 9% of teams. He's an upgrade target for me.
I have a similar concern about him as I do Lloyd.
Oh, do you, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Cats can't play that slow, chippy chip stuff anymore if they want to be a chance at a flag.
Okay.
And apparently they want to win a flag.
Right.
Jace Burgoyne's in 9%. I don't think he's going to play. But then we've got Campbell Chesser there in 8%. And then Charlie Dean, who's the other one that could be there. So we could... Going 2 on-field rookies in defence could be a play. There's a few names there.
It's definitely a
There's going to
play.
be more kids in the childcare. There's so many kids. This is nasty.
Should excite you. They get what?
Oh, my God. There's something wrong with the dog. He's a bad dog.
He's a sick dog.
All right. So here we go. I guess that's those. A couple of names before we get, because I won't tread on your pod thunder cow.
What are you down to now? 6%.
7. Jordan Ridley was talked up a bit by me when I was looking for Bombers
Yes,
players to talk
exactly.
about.
Talk
I don't
about
think-
my March bank.
I don't think I can do that, though.
No Riddler.
No. All right, Roy.
Right.
Roll for us.
Oh, I tell you what.
Your best
We
6
roll and roll and roll
defenders.
at a rapid rate at the moment.
Yeah.
With all this news coming through.
You're changing.
It's like a wheel going down a hill. It just keeps... Yeah, I have to. Yeah, you got to be flexible as a
Okay.
coach, and you got to roll with the punches. So, number 1. Hall has dropped well off.
Yeah.
That tightness
Yeah.
/ ping,
Yeah.
hamstring. Now, good warning sign for old Destroy as I prepare my rolling 22 for round 1. Number 1 is Lockie Whitfield.
Okay.
And I will get no arguments there because
You will.
we only have to think a few years ago.
Come on.
Remember he was like 115 guy?
Oh, yes.
Horrific run of injuries.
yeah. Yep.
And now I think he's just back and ready to go bang again, like
Yep.
110 territory.
I'm excited to see him in my team.
Yes, such a nice pick.
Yeah, and he
no
can-
stress. Imagine watching him take those marks around the wings and half. Oh, God, delicious thinking about it. Number 2 is Crisp.
Right.
Just
Just for safety.
yeah, like you said, it doesn't matter if he's back or mid. I liked hearing the mid stuff, but it doesn't matter. He plays and he's good and he scores. Number 2, safe pick.
Love it.
Yep.
Right.
Lloyd is number 3.
Okay.
So I understand if people are like more bullish on Lloyd and put him number 2. You're wrong, but I understand it. Now we go early on throw the blanket because it's
So where's
true.
Aaron Hall in all of this then?
Under the blanket.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's obviously got the scoring prowess that the others don't have.
Yeah.
The others have hamstrings that attach
Yes.
and stay attached. So at number 4, I've gone with a bit of a hype man, bit risky, but reports are good. I'm throwing Dawson number 4.
Yeah.
I know. You don't love it, nor
I
do
don't
I.
mind
But
I think he
though.
can be a top 6.
yeah.
4.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
and has a ceiling.
Yep.
The thing is, though, so this wing role,
Yeah,
that
He
he's
scored
supposed to have-
158, I think, you know.
Yeah, but it was
Damn, you stole my line.
Big ceiling.
He's with Adelaide.
He
They're
is.
not any good.
No.
Right? I think they were actually the lowest fantasy scoring team last year.
Yeah, you
Were
wait
they?
till
However,
you inject 158 into that.
yeah,
mate.
but Seedsman got to 95.
Seedsman battling concussion at the moment
Yeah.
and may not be there.
So he
Really?
got to 95 on a wing for the Crows.
Yeah.
Dawson's better than Seeds.
Look, do you know what? It's Matthew Nix, isn't it? He said that we drafted him, we picked him up to play wing because that's where he dominated. And he's right.
when he
he
had
did
that-
dominate on the wing.
Yeah.
That wasn't just that one game on the wing. He played multiple very good games on the wing. And that's what they've got him in for. They've even talked about him pinch hitting in the middle.
Yeah.
So wing, inside,
That's what his role is.
unbelievably good. So number 4.
Okay.
Let's see how he goes with it. So that's where you guys have Lloyd, I have Dawson, and
Yep.
so much money. Anyway, then at number 5, that's where I've put probably the form scorer out of all of them.
Yeah.
Aaron Hall.
He's got to be in the 6.
100% he has to. Should he be above those other 4? Maybe Dawson?
Maybe, but
So
he can sit there for now.
You've moved him there because of his hammy.
Yeah. Because
Is he there as well
I-
with some of your other... Are you starting to get any doubts on his scoring, though?
I am getting a few doubts, and well, it's a similar
That
to
I've had.
Yeah, so it's similar to Lloyd.
Yeah.
because they're winning now. North think they're going to be winning. Well,
Yeah.
they're going to at least play to win.
Luke
So they-
McDonald played on the wing last year. He's training in the back line.
Luke McDonald didn't get a kick last year. He's
On the wing, that's why.
yeah. So what's that
So
going
he's
to
going on
do?
the back line where he racked up a heap.
Oh, mate, he's not even making my keeper league 14 or 16, whatever it is. No, he's been kicked out the door. But I do understand what you're saying there. But no, I'm not worried about moves like that for Hall.
Yep.
But I am worried about Hall's body. That was my wake-up call.
Agree.
Yeah. Rounding it out is Salem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almost like another little safe one.
100% it is. Yep. And we never used to
He should
say
be 90 to
Salem
95.
safe. Yeah, but I think he is now. And his form over the final series was as good as any of these blokes.
Okay.
And I think the swag off a grand final and a player like him that's a cherry on top type thing, that can be another little +6.
So in the mixes
Points.
then, I assume that you've got
Rich.
Rich, who 98 he averaged
Yeah.
last year. He doesn't
Yep.
go near that though, does he?
Probably,
Does he?
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. Why wouldn't he?
I think he can.
He did it very easily.
So you didn't have Stewart there, who was 97 last year?
No, in the mix. Apology. Yeah.
Jaden Short.
Shorty in
Where
the
does
mix.
he go?
Apology.
95-ish, he can.
Yeah, 100%. Those 3 guys could easily bump out Salem. And for safety purposes, you could say,
Heppel went
Hall.
95 last year.
yep, great in the mix. Apologies.
Anyway, what about our mate Caleb Daniel?
No.
How
You
big-
do not ever get in again
Hang on.
after scoring 20.
How big's your blanket?
Queen size.
Yeah, it would need
Queen.
Yeah.
It's feeling like it's a king one, although if you got Caleb Daniel, you won't need
Well-
much more size.
That's a good. I like.
Pillowcase.
I like the flexibility of your rolling 22.
It has to be.
It has to be flexible. You've got to be
What's
agile.
the word last year? Fluid.
Yeah.
Agile.
You want to hear some pods?
Right, here we go. This is what everyone's listening
Right.
for, Cal.
Here's some names that you have under your blanket.
Right.
So these are players with 5% ownership or less.
Yep.
Jaden Short, 5%. Salem.
I don't mind Short as an option,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Salem, 3%. My boy, Lockie Ash, will average 95.
Breakout Ash.
How is he not in the mix?
I've talked to a few people into him. 2% of people are on that. Now, Caleb Daniel, get this.
Right.
You know, he had that 20.
You take that out.
So, no.
right.
So, from
That's where you're gonna
round
go.
6,
Yes.
so he did that like in one of the first few rounds. From round 6 onwards, he averaged 94,
Yeah, that's what we got him in
right?
for.
He's priced at 87. There's a little bit there.
Yes, there is.
on the bone, as
Well,
Cal
He
says.
had 90 at half time of an AFL Grand Final.
Daniel Rich as well. So he had 5 tons in his last 7. Dog, he took 141 kick-ins last year.
Yeah, he's
Played
and
on
Birchall-
94% of the
Birchall
time.
had the next most, and he's gone.
So Birchall had 72.
Kadeen Coleman will get a few now.
Well, well, we're getting down to him. So there's a few of the good ones.
Right.
Let's talk about George Hewett.
Yes, right. We probably
Okay.
haven't given him enough love
So
yet.
we'll get to yeah. So Hewett is in 5% of teams.
He's under the blanket.
He's in mine.
500.
He's under the blanket.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, he's in my team too. His toes are out. But
Okay.
he's under there.
So 537,000. He's priced at like mid-60s.
Yeah.
So with Sydney last year, before the bye, he averaged 55.
Correct.
Not on the ball, not anywhere to
No,
be seen.
gross.
After the bye, then he became an on-baller for the Swans. Then he averaged 75 in those last games.
Yeah.
I think he can be an 80-ish guy.
Do you know what he... So the last 3 games, off the top of my head, he actually played midfield.
He averaged 98.
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
Do we? Well, Walsh is obviously out with the sin.
Yep.
Is Hewett in?
Bloody oath he is.
Is he?
He's an inside midfielder.
Yeah.
That's what he'll be doing.
I listened to Greg Williams talk the other day, and when Greg talks, I listen.
Did he talk about anything other than himself? Whenever I hear him, he's the best at talking about
He is
himself.
elite at that.
He's
and it did
Malcolm
get mentioned a
Blight-esque.
couple of times. Yeah. Yes, actually. He gets disrespected. He's very good at it. Now, he said, basically, they wanted an inside mid to help Cripps. That's who they targeted. No talk of defender. Inside mid to help Cripps. And he ripped up the intra club. Now,
Right.
Yep, Flag probably had Paddy Dow as a direct opponent. However, you
Or
can
Fogarty.
only- Yeah.
Oh, who else?
Williams.
Oh, God.
However, might have been playing on Walsh, who had the sin. And stuff. I don't know. His opponent might not have been very good, but he ripped up, and his highlights from it, yeah,
Okay.
he's under the blanket.
So his ownership of 5%
Yeah.
will increase.
And I'm one of them. Dog, you're one of them.
I'm on.
Wow, I didn't know I'd have a buddy there.
Three.
Darcy Tucker is only in at 6% of teams, but they're about the same price.
Had a little bit of an
These-
interrupted.
Yeah.
There's a few guys from Fremantle. I think there's 3 of them, and I don't know which one is which. So can someone help me here? And some of them don't even have a face on the game. Yeah. Throwing me right out. So there's Tucker, who's underpriced.
Yeah.
Will Brodie.
Yep.
And was there one other? Who's on the wing for them at the moment?
Oh, Liam Henry.
Right.
But then you've got the other guys like
Driss.
O'Driscoll is one. But I'm thinking Hayden Young, those types of guys that could be.
No
You got
wonder
Clark.
I wonder why Cam doesn't pick a Docker.
No.
They're just way too confusing.
And the last one we're going to talk about is your mate, Dog, Coleman.
Kadeen Coleman.
Right. So
Yeah,
Half-back row.
343.
Yeah.
2% ownership. That will increase as well. So what did you hear there?
Just that's his role. So he will be just a massive watch to see. And look back, he's scored in the 70s doing that. And if he's got a 3 in front of his name, that's 30 points upside.
And defender forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Handy.
And I think it's where we can, and that could mean that we go a bit bigger in the midfield.
Oh, you had me.
My midfield is big as in deep at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So what you could do with that is, and it might be the thing as well, like our mate Hollands, for example, might be a bench guy. So you might be able to go low, like you might not have a rookie on the field in the forward line, which might be where a challenge comes when team selections are in for round 1.
So forward line.
So you could have Coleman as your F6.
Yeah.
We're talking out of turn here, but with that forward line, is yours going 5 deep at the moment with not even like a cheap like risk sort of guy in there?
Look at it.
Because my at the moment my F5 would be like someone like Heaney,
Yeah.
and
Wow,
then it's
that's
Hollands.
big.
Because
Yeah.
I've got guys in there like Zach Butters and Heaney and Thomas and
Apologies, Rayner, Heaney, Rayner. It would go,
Yeah.
and then rookie.
okay.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
Rayner's
So
like my only
for your 5.
Yeah.
Or 6.
5.
5, yeah. So my 5 and 6 at the moment are Kadeen Coleman and Finn McGuinness.
Right.
So those 2 guys sitting there.
Finn hasn't had much conversation, has he?
he
But
hasn't.
he's probably
Tom Mitchell a couple of weeks ago was
Yes.
talking about.
So he's going to
probably
break
gonna
out this year.
He did.
Pig talks. We listen.
311. And I just feel at the moment, and this is where I always get at this point in the season with, there's no rookies. No, not necessarily that, but more about going, I just feel safe. with those sorts of names there at the moment. And you can flick them down, which will give you some more coin to do other stuff with. But that structure might sit a bit nicer.
Always been a very safe dog, has he?
He's straight bat dog.
Like a muzzle.
Yep.
Permanently muzzled. Very safe dog.
Well, that's the Pods dog.
He's vanilla.
He's
vanilla.
It's good. He's very vanilla. Very vanilla.
Those people, he got called out for it this week.
For being vanilla?
Yeah.
Not
he
surprised.
revealed a team.
Did you?
Vanilla.
That never goes well.
When you basically provide the greatest content going around.
That's true.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's going to look vanilla because I made it vanilla.
That's right. He's a man. He's a big dog.
Right, we've been getting very good fantasy coaches to talk about the positions as we go through. And today for the defenders, we're going to chat with James, coach of Gorringes and Lemmens, a team that sat very high in the rankings last year. James, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's a pleasure.
Well, mate, you had a dominant season last year, and it's one of those ones where you get jealous of anyone sitting up there. You've got a hat with number 2 on it, but probably a very impressive thing was that you had the highest value team in Fantasy Classic in 2021.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I think I almost had $1 million more in my team value than the person who won it. So it just kept building. I think once you get a bit of momentum, these rookies and mid-pricers, they just keep going up. So it was quite a story.
So how did it happen, basically? We want to know how you ended up with that much coin.
Yeah, I think you've got to be really disciplined throughout the year. You know, there's always these guys you need to fix up. Like I held Tom Phillips for God knows how long, 12, 15 rounds. But I just kept trying to, if I had a rookie that got dropped, just keep trying to pick up that next rookie who's going to go up in price. Be really disciplined with your upgrades and downgrades, and just try and avoid those little mid-prices who aren't going anywhere. I think that's probably the big tip.
So did you come home with a wet sail? Like, did you climb the ranks sort of late, or were you up there fairly high towards the back end?
Yeah, so I cracked the top 100 round 3, and then I think the last couple of rounds I had a few spots to catch up. I think I went from 20-odd with 5 rounds to go, and then finished number 3 in the end. So you just have to keep chipping away, I think. I'd ruled out getting anywhere near the car, and then every round I got a bit closer, and I thought, oh, hang on, there's a chance here. So it was pretty exciting come round 23.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, and it was, I think, 11 points between you. Sorry, I said that you had that number 2, but
11 points to
yeah.
number 1 and 6 points to number 2.
Oh,
so
wow.
It could have gone either way. And it had on the day, I think I was ahead, and then I was behind, and then I was ahead.
Oh, wow.
Who do you blame in your team?
There's 2 guys, Grundy and Chris, needed to score in the 70s, and I would have had the car. And they both had absolute stinkers. It was unbelievable.
Crisp.
He's done
This
it
is
again.
what he does to people.
He's done it again.
he hurt Roy's hat chances.
Yep. Now, I was never a car chance,
No.
but he hurt the hat chances. This guy, he's starting to get a really bad name.
He is.
You might have to readjust that rolling
I am
22.
going to. I'm doing it as we speak.
Take him out.
I will.
Would you pick them this year?
Crisp is probably going to get picked again this year, and Grundy's pretty much locked in my team. So I think you can't be too bitter about it. You know, they cost me last year, but who knows? They might win me a car this year.
Yeah,
so.
okay. I need to grow up.
Keep him in there, Roy.
Alrighty, the man with the number 3 hat, not number 2, sorry. I can send you a number 2 hat with Calvin's signature on it, though.
Send Harry Edwards a hat.
Well, we've still got to get Harry Edwards a hat.
Poor old Harry. We couldn't get it past the border. We tried to get Harry one.
All right, so let's hear your lineup. So your defensive 6, what does it currently look like?
Yeah, so I'm looking to put in probably 3 premiums in defence. I think that's the number I'm looking at, and there'll be 3 of Hall, Lloyd, Whitfield, Crisp, or Short. So at the moment it's Hall, Lloyd, and Whitfield, but Crisp I think will probably take Hall's spot after the injury concern there. I think they're all got pretty good roles. You know, they hopefully they'll be durable, play 22 games, and I think they'll all be top 6. I think they've got to be in your rolling 22, Roy. So I think they're pretty fixed. There'll be 3 of them. Short might come in as well. If he has a big game in the preseason, I might consider him as well.
We had a big game last pre-season,
Didn't
so
he
if
ever?
he does the
Humongous,
same again, he
yeah.
might knock on the door for that. All right, so big 3, and they are premium ones. So where do we go after that for D4?
Yeah, D4 at the moment is Sicily.
Yep.
But I'm also looking at Tucker there. I think if Tucker does get the midfield time and he can show he can score well, I like him. But I think Sicily's too good to pass up. He's been 18 months since he did his ACL, so you'd think that'd be right by now. They said that he may have even played last year. So full preseason, he'll go up 20 plus points in value. I think he's looking like, and he's just a good player. He's a gun. He's an absolute gun. They'll give him the ball. He'll score well.
I like it. All right, D5.
D5 will probably be Milera.
Yep.
I think, again, he's so cheap and he's such a good player. He uses the ball so well. And the Crows, they're still another great team. So the ball will be back there. I think he's just, for that price, it's pretty hard to say no.
Agree.
All right, well, this is interesting then. So your D6, I assume you're going a rookie, and who is that in a mix between?
Oh, at the moment, I think it'll be one of the expensive rookies, so Chesser or Sin, whichever one looks like they can score a bit better. And it also, having that little bit more cash on them, if they fail, you can then, you've got a bit of flexibility as to who you trade them to. It makes me a bit nervous having 390k rookies because if one of them fails and you've got no cash in the bank, you're in a bit of trouble. So
would you be
at the moment?
Sorry, would you be any chance of putting one of them on the bench? So one on the ground, one on the bench, even despite the price?
You could, you could. I think, you definitely could. If they're both looking good, I'd be inclined. I'd probably put one on the bench. I think you can afford to do that. But you could also maybe try and free up a field spot. Maybe shuffle around, put a premium in another line, and get both on your field. If they're going to score 60 or 70s, that'd probably be a good move, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
So has your structure changed at all, or is that what you've been pretty set on with sort of 3 big dogs there and then your 2 mid-prices and a rookie? Is that what you like, and is that what you've done in the past as well?
Yeah, I mean, last year was pretty similar. Yeah, I like to have a few premiums in each line that are going to be top 6, and then just 1 or 2 mid-prices. I don't like having too many mid-prices because you need a backup option. If one of these guys fails, you need to have someone who you can go to. So Sicily, if he has a bad round 1, he might just go straight to Tucker. Crisis averted. So I think who knows? It might change when some rookies start pumping out scores in the preseason. I might just stack 3 of them on the field in the defence. But at this point, it's pretty solid.
Where do you sit with a bloke like George Hewett?
Oh, he's interesting. I think with Walsh going down, he could have a really good start to the year. I'm just not sure if he's a scorer. I don't know if he really racks up the possessions. Yep. He might be in that defensive midfield role, and that generally doesn't score well. So that might just be 60s and 70s.
Yep.
I'm not sure about him, but he definitely interests me.
Yeah, one we can watch in the pre-season, Dog.
So speaking of that, what will we be looking at in the pre-season? Let's talk about defenders specifically. What are the things that will be hopefully catching your eye to find a spot in your team?
Oh, definitely if any of these guys get midfield time, that's a big tick. If they're up on the wing or they're getting CBAs, that's a huge bonus for a defender. But also just the little plus 6s, are they getting the switch kick? Are they getting a few kick-outs? Love all of these guys to have, 5 to 10 kick-outs every game. That'd be great in the preseason. So, and then the rookies are they best 22 really? If they're best 22, I've got no problem picking them.
Yeah, and that'll be a thing. Job security probably trumps a little bit. You might make a decision based on their scoring ability, but job security is always key, and that would be in any line.
For sure. I think with the rookies, you can take a bit of a punt if they're a high scorer. I think you can, but definitely, Milera, for instance, at that price, you have to get a guy who's going to be best 22. I'm pretty confident Milera and Sicily will be, but your other mid-prices, if you're looking at like a George Hewett or someone, you've got to be absolutely certain that they're playing 22 games, they're best 22.
What about, you mentioned role there, I think you're going to see Jordan Dawson up on a wing and maybe even a few CBAs. Could he twist your arm?
Oh, it's a good call. I've been thinking about him a bit more. I'm just a bit concerned. Guys who switch clubs, you just don't know really where they're going to land. Mm-hmm. And you don't really know. I think they generally take a bit of probably a year just to get to know their teammates. He might not be getting the cheap kicks straight away because he's doing the hard yards. He's trying to prove himself. And I think the Crows have such a good engine room. I think he'll be on the wing, which sort of limits him to maybe 90, 95 points a game. So He's interesting, but I just don't think he's going to average 100.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, James, thanks so much for joining us here. It's an imposing defensive line because I think you're definitely picking three guys there that'll be your best six for the year and potentially best three, all four that are in that line there. But with that too, like, is there any sort of learnings from the last few years that you've had? Like, I'm assuming your third overall's the best that you've done so far. What were the things that you've really learnt that coaches could take on board from what you've done across your team?
Yeah, definitely number 3 is the best I've done. So I think you've just got to be like, I've had this team for a couple of months now, but if there's 4 or 5 rookies in defence who look good, I'll get them into the team. So I think you have to be flexible. The rookies, you've got to nail them. And if there's a line in particular where there's more rookies, don't be afraid to throw an extra one on the ground and shuffle your team around a bit, because those are the guys who are going to make you a lot of cash. And they're also, if they can score 60 or 70 on the field, that's just huge for your score. So, don't be stuck with what the team you've had for 3 months. If there's a bit of news that comes out of the preseason, adjust and get a few more rookies on the ground. And
I know that this is a defensive podcast that we're talking about, but as a man that made a lot of money last year, almost $1 million more than the winner, who are your best underpriced options, do you reckon, that's going to make you some more coin this year?
Oh, I think in terms of rookies, I'm loading up on the midfield rookies.
Yep.
At the moment, I've got 3, maybe 4 on ground.
Yeah, wow.
So I think there's a lot of cash to be made there, and they're all scorers. They're the Wards, the JHFs, Dacos. They could all pump out 70s, maybe 80s if they have a good game. So they're the guys I'm looking at. In the forward line, I also like Kerno and Rayner at the moment. I think they could be some money makers.
Nice. James, thanks very much for your time, mate, and good luck in season 2022. Grab yourself another hat or even a car.
Thanks for having me, guys. Fingers crossed.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
All right, let's get into this. Miller Time wants to know, where does Short fit in? Do you see him competing with the big dogs for a D1 or D2 spot?
Yes.
No.
You don't?
No.
I think he can go near 100.
Yeah. Does that compete with a big dog?
I think he'll be in your rolling 22.
100%. There's a chance at being, rounding it out.
So as I said before, 5% ownership for him.
Yeah.
He's only going to be better because of the Hooley factor.
Yeah.
Unless Rioli's taken all the kicks, Roy. I don't mind it. You can do that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not a good pick or a good player. He's not competing with the big 3, is he?
No.
All right, Aiden is asking, how many rookies should we be fielding and who are the options? So he's thinking 1 or 2. I think we could nearly have 2. So he's got here thinking Sin and Chesser. And because they've both got a bit of a price premium on them, it's either one of them or both of them. And they both need to be on field.
I am warming to that.
I am as well.
Structure.
But
and then 4 really safe, proper players apart from that. But I'm counting Milera as a proper.
Yeah, and then, but if you're doing that, you're going Milera, and if you're putting 2 rookies on your field, can you have Milera and Sicily?
Yeah, you have to have them too.
So
you have to have them.
No, so you're only having 2 big premium defenders.
And then if rookies get dropped, Milera injures himself again, that's when your season's over.
And
that's why the problem.
That's why I only think you can have 1 rookie on your field back there.
Or you save the Milera cash and go down to like Chesser.
All right.
Do you?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Josh, hey, Legends, not sold on the sick dogs output.
Okay,
Reckon
right.
it'll be about 76.
He's not sold on the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you rank the following players, and do you think they can average above 80? Hunter Clark. He can.
Yeah.
He's an 80
He's
guy.
about an 83.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wil Powell. Gold Coast Cow. I can see your brain going. Who's he?
Wil Powell. No.
I don't think so,
No.
can he? Maybe.
Zach Williams?
Close. Zach, 80 plus.
All right. George Hewett.
85 plus.
So ranking those guys, Hewett, Williams,
Yeah.
Hunter,
Yeah.
Wil Powell.
Yeah.
Different price points, obviously, for those guys. That's what you...
Hunter can pip. Actually, I'm going Hewett, Hunter, Williams. Yeah, I can't go looking after Williams anymore.
All right. Actually, this is a similar question there. Josh is saying 5 guys priced between $5.90 and $6.10, all with their own upside and risk. So Hunter Clark, Wil Powell, Zach Williams, Brad Hill, and Lockie Bramble.
Brad Hill's bad games were just too bad.
Yeah.
I just don't want anyone to do it to themselves. He scored in the 40s 4 times. 40s!
That you can't have that. That's a
Unheard
rookie score,
of.
Roy.
So could you do these guys as a point of difference, or
Look, Williams, you can. That average of 70 is ridiculously low for what he can do.
Yeah. Well, he went. What did we say earlier? He went at 75 in his last half of the year playing as a midfielder, right? He's priced at 64.
So, look, Sam Walsh is out, we can say, but they've got Hewett and Chera in. I think the thing for him is Doherty is not starting the season.
Okay.
So maybe he benefits at least 10 points upside, no Doc. Okay. 80.
Right, 80.
Surely.
I'll pay 80.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leanne wants to know, who's the most high-risk, high-reward defender that you could be going with?
Well, and Aaron Hall is straight into that
Well,
category.
yes, he's the definition of it.
He is very much.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
I guess the high risk in that is that you're paying so much money for a guy.
And he could pop a hammy at any time.
Yep.
But
He's also the most talented scorer
he'll get a 150
in the
for
whole
you.
back line.
Yeah.
Freo Pope replied to that, had Whitfield as an example of that.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, I'd have Whitfield in that because he's not durable.
No, he's not. He finds unique injuries.
He
too.
does.
Kyle is saying Wil Powell season now that Jack Bowes is out
Yeah.
and Lukosius up forward.
Yeah, he should be good, but I just wouldn't launch into it.
Chris is asking thoughts on Daniel Rioli.
Hey.
Cow.
No, that joke's finished.
People have been backing you up, and people that actually
Yes.
crunch decent numbers about it have backed you up.
Yes, I think he's going to have that half-back role. When he had that role, he could average between 75 to 85.
Right. Yep.
But it's a no for me.
So-
I can't have those players this
Okay.
year.
Is he another example of positive preseason season where you just had to find nice things to say about 5 players for a
I had to talk about Richmond, and I needed 5 players.
Right.
It was hard to do.
So is he still training with the club?
Yeah, he's still there.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
I haven't crossed him off.
Right. No, that's all right then.
But he will be better, and he is priced at like 50-something. So yes,
cheap.
Very cheap. But for a reason, Roy.
Dennis wants to know Hewett versus Sicily. It's an interesting one.
Far out, that is interesting.
Hewett could average a lot more than him
100% he could.
if the planets aligned for him.
100%.
I think we're giving this Hewett too much airtime.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
I can see Hewett opening night for the Blues. Sorry, we get the second game now. Totally disrespected. Pumping
It
out
should be on Sunday night.
9,500 straight off the bat.
But he's never done that before. His best year ever is a 75. And now he's going to a worse team. No offence, Roy.
Look, he hasn't been given the opportunities that he is about to receive.
But he's also at a worse team.
Greg Williams played for the Swans as well. And he never said anything positive about Hewett then.
Okay.
Because everything
He's-
Williams is good when
he's
it comes
a-
to Carlton.
He's a watch list,
That
okay?
is
But I'd,
slight concern, dog. Yeah.
him and Sick Dog, it's Sick Dog all day.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know.
No, I don't know either.
Really?
Sick Dog's coming off injury too. Huey's not. Super Huey.
Sick Dog loves being in defence. Sick Dog will average 85 without even...
I think Huey's
Breaking
going
a
85. Barely a beat of sweat.
So you think,
not even a shine.
So
on
Hewett,
his
you think
forehead.
Hewett is automatically just going to have the best season he's ever had?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't crossed him off.
No, he doesn't even train with you guys.
He did. He came.
Did he?
Yeah, he came.
Yeah, that's sneaky.
Aztec, is Whitfield really a lock? His role is uncertain, his scoring is inconsistent, and his common niggles that could see him miss some games are very frustrating. I'd much rather short over him.
You make a very good point.
He does.
He is a free ride guide for me
Short,
because,
safe.
yeah,
I think Whitfield has that ceiling.
Whitfield's a way better player than Short.
Whitfield can be 110.
He's a better fantasy player. Like, you just watch him.
Yeah.
What he does.
But, like, he's a better fantasy player and better player.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they want the ball in his hands all the time, not just in the back line, through the midfield and forward. Wherever he is, they try to get it to him.
They do.
Yeah.
So Whitfield's priced at 95
And
because he had
Whitfield-
that injured game. Take that out. He would have got his ton again.
Look, Shorty's awesome.
He is.
When he's racking up, but Short's more likely to have to, on a
Do a
random week,
real
lock
job.
someone down or something,
Yeah.
actually play defence. Whitfield never has to do that.
And that's my thing about Whitfield. Role uncertain. He finds a way to score almost whatever role he's playing.
He does. That other stuff is a risk,
Yeah, definitely.
the injury stuff.
Yep.
Robert is asking, who do we take as D3? So saying Dawson with the new mid-roll or Hewett for a few $100K cheaper with just as friendly role with no Walsh. Now, if he goes the Hewett option, he upgrades Draper to Rob. And that's a no-brainer for me.
You have to do that.
You have to do that.
Yeah. We're off this cheap ruck thing.
Yeah.
It's just too fraught with danger.
How are your rucks at the moment? What have you got?
They are Grundy and Rob
Yep.
with a lot of interest in Darcy
You
replacing
do,
Rob.
don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same. I've gone to Rob.
That's where I am.
Yep.
So we're all there.
We just can't stuff around with this Preuss stuff.
No.
Every year we do it.
If you just knew that he could play the first 8 games
Yeah.
without Flynn,
Yeah.
it's the biggest lock of the year.
But if he's
Unless
named-
Flynn gets injured, there is no guarantee of that, is
No,
there?
and there's no guarantee that he plays every single
No.
game in
No.
that 8 games.
And then all of a sudden, you're looking at who your emergency is. He's a dude that's in and out, chips in for 40. So that's not your option. So then you're chasing cash to put on Preuss's head, who hasn't even gone up 20K.
And Witts probably isn't an option anymore for
No,
us.
I don't think we can
that's
do
not-
that. Look, it was fun when the game opened.
Yes, it was.
Because it
Jeez,
gave you
makes
heaps of
your team
cash.
look a lot better.
Yeah. Now I don't think it's realistic. And I think, I'll tell you what I would do, right?
Okay.
If there was a sniff of Ryder missing
Oh,
an
yeah.
extended patch at the start, everything that Rowan Marshall is in my hitting zone. I love launching into a player like that.
Love it.
He just ticks all boxes to me,
He does.
except that he's playing alongside Ryder. That's the only thing stopping him being right up there with Grundy as number one
It's still-
ruck in the game.
It's still a chance to happen.
You have to keep your ear to the ground.
Definitely.
Right. We're talking rucks next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be
There's a bit
big
to talk
episode.
about, yeah.
A lot to talk about over these next couple of weeks because we've got all of these practice matches to discuss. So that's going to be massive. So be across social for all of those things. We'll be giving our 2 cents where we can. And there'll be lots of legends out there that will probably be collecting stats and writing down CBAs. and
I'm
things
counting
like
on
that.
it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Tag us in those so we can see it all as well. We did put a call out for all of those Apple podcast reviews, and we're getting a few, actually a lot, so I want to smash through
Really?
these quickly. Sue Mitchell, love the show, entertaining, informative, tweaks, best part of my week, essential fantasy listening. O to the J, entertainment specialist, they don't miss a beat.
Tell you
Someone
what.
called String Trick Cow.
Oh,
These are the best AFL podcasts going around, no egos. Challenge. Or overblown
What a
scandals. It's just mates chatting and having a laugh. So we are happy to have been there for you in the in those lonely COVID times, as you say. And P.S. the Mongolian beef was 10 out of 10. Still don't understand that review from last week.
the Mongolian.
That was funny. That was very funny.
And Mad Hawk 17. These blokes could make a podcast about the texture of air, and I'd tune in. So. It does say though, if I could sum up these blokes in this podcast with one made-up word, it would be integrity. So integrity,
Okay.
if you take away in, makes it the opposite.
Right.
Opposite of integrity.
No, you've lost me.
And Butters, nice big long one here, but thank you so much for leaving your review.
Butters
Especially,
has put some work into that.
he has. It's very nice. So
Thank you.
basically, Cal gets a bit of a mention about getting burnt by the head tilted gaff, but the captains and the scale of hardness are tried and true formulas for a successful season.
Yeah.
Another challenge on that one as well. We've got plenty more to come this pre-season. Make sure you're subscribed to us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, and check out all of our content on afl.com.au. See ya.